Alright, today we're going to be doing something different. Today, we're going to be rebooking WrestleMania 33. Now, this is just how I would personally book WrestleMania 33. So, if you're wondering why this match or why this match wasn't the way you wanted it to be, well, it's how I would rebook WrestleMania 33. Alright, so as we all know, WrestleMania 33 kicked off with Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. I'm actually going to keep this match on the card because nobody expected this match to be as good as it was, and it is one of the best WrestleMania openers of all time. Now, the next match of the night was Chris Jericho taking on Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho had one of the hottest storylines of 2016 leading into WrestleMania of 2017. But instead of making it for the United States Championship, I'm going to make it for the Universal Championship like it should have been all along. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens had some of the best character work in 2016, with them both being best friends and with the KO show and all that. But in 2017, Kevin Owens turned on Chris Jericho, and fans really wanted to see them feud over the Universal Championship at WrestleMania that year. But that's not the way that they decided to go. At Fastlane in 2017, Kevin Owens would take on Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Goldberg would spear Kevin Owens, jackhammer, and that would end the match. But at this time, Chris Jericho was the United States Champion, so at WrestleMania that year, they faced off for the United States Championship. Fans were very disappointed because Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho had one of the biggest storylines that year, and all the character build-up and all the character work, and it was just for the United States Championship instead of the Universal Championship. The match was nothing special in itself. Kevin Owens won the United States Championship off of Chris Jericho, and when Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho both got backstage, Vince McMahon said it was one of the worst matches he had ever seen. Now, speaking of Universal Championships, the next one I'm going to get into is Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Now, I'm going to keep this match on the card, but the only thing I'm going to change about it is it's not going to be for the Universal Championship. You could have booked this match perfectly fine without the Universal Championship on the line. This match was surprisingly good. It was fast-paced, a lot of action in the match. Goldberg ended up losing the match, and Brock Lesnar went over, making Brock Lesnar the new Universal Champion. So, to cut to the chase, this match did not need the Universal Championship. Alright, here's where it gets tricky. So, at WrestleMania this year, Roman Reigns faced off against The Undertaker in the main event of the show. Now, if you know, The Undertaker was in no condition to be at WrestleMania that year. Taker even said himself that he should not have been in the ring that year, so I'm going to keep The Undertaker off the card at WrestleMania that year. And also, Seth Rollins had a match against Triple H in a non-sanctioned match. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and I'm going to take Dean Ambrose. Where is Dean Ambrose in this case? Dean Ambrose was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, and on the pre-show, he faced Baron Corbin, and he retained the Intercontinental Championship. So instead of having the Intercontinental Championship on the pre-show, we're going to have a Shield triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, the Shield did face in a triple threat match at Battleground in 2016, but I feel like this match is made for WrestleMania. These guys have so much history behind each other, and I feel like this match would have been great. And to make matters even better, the Intercontinental Championship is put to good use on the show. Next, we have the Raw Tag Team Championships. Now, originally, it was supposed to be a triple threat ladder match for the titles. It featured Big Cass and Enzo Amore, Gallows and Anderson, and The Bar. But it would also be announced later that night that there would be another team competing in the match. That team would be the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys would make their long-awaited return to WWE, and they would win the Raw Tag Team Championships. Now, I'm going to keep this match on the card and change absolutely nothing about it. This match was absolutely perfect. It was perfect for a ladder match. Jeff Hardy jumped off a 30-foot ladder, and it was a great match in general. So I'm not going to change anything about this match. Now, here's where my job gets really hard. So, as you all know, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships were not defended at that year's WrestleMania. I don't know why, probably because the show was already long enough and they didn't want another tag team title match on the show. The show was already long enough. So I'm going to put the SmackDown tag team titles on the show. Now at the time, the Usos were the WWE SmackDown tag team champions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the Usos versus the New Day in a tag team match for the titles. Now, the New Day and Usos would have a long feud in 2017 with banger match after banger match after banger match. But I feel like this match at WrestleMania makes it feel 10 times more important. This match would have been great considering how good of chemistry these guys have with each other and all the good matches they've had before and after. Here's another match that I put on the show that might shock a lot of people. So, you all know that year, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Randy Orton had one of the hottest feuds in WWE at that time. And you all know that Randy Orton faced Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. But instead of that match, I'm going to make it Bray Wyatt versus Luke Harper in a steel cage match. I feel like this would be a really good WrestleMania match, so it doesn't exclude Bray Wyatt off the card along with Luke Harper, because Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt were some of the best wrestlers in WWE in 2016 and in 2017. So I feel like this does them both justice with none of them being excluded off the WrestleMania card that year. And having them in a steel cage match would make it even more interesting. Okay, on to the next match. Now, you all know the United States Championship was Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania that year. But what we're going to do, we're going to take the United States Championship, make it vacant, and we're going to have Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship. Now, I feel like fans would really enjoy this match because it's two beloved wrestlers, two high-fly wrestlers. They could have a really good match together. So that's what I'm going to do for the match. It's a nice, simple, easy solution to have the US title feel important on WrestleMania. Alright, here's where my job gets really fun. So you all know how John Cena won the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble that year to make him a 16-time world champion. At that time, John Cena was a transitional champion in a time where he should not have been. He lost the WWE Championship a month later at Elimination Chamber, and all that momentum went away. But also at the Royal Rumble that year, Randy Orton ended up winning the Royal Rumble and faced Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. But instead of that match, for the main event of WrestleMania 33, we're going to have a John Cena versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. John Cena was involved in a mixed tag match with Nikki Bella that year, and he proposed to Nikki Bella. So, I feel like this is a great alternative to that, because it was The Miz and Maurice versus John Cena and Nikki Bella, and looking back at that match, it was not the best option for John Cena at WrestleMania that year, considering when he could have went to WrestleMania as WWE Champion. John Cena and Randy Orton have both had many pay-per-view matches that were for the WWE Championship, but somehow these two have never went to a WrestleMania and faced each other. So I feel like this is a perfect main event for WrestleMania. You can have Randy Orton win the WWE Championship in the main event of the show in an all-time classic match. Anyways, this is how I would rebook WrestleMania 33. Now, WrestleMania 33 has got to be one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time. The stage was absolutely beautiful. When I think of WrestleMania, I think of WrestleMania 33. The stage, the lights, the colors, everything that went on at that show. Now, say whatever you want to say about WrestleMania 33. In my opinion, it was alright. You know, there was a couple matches where it could have been better, a couple matches where it was like, but at the end of the day, I love WrestleMania 33. If you like what you watched and you want me to make more content like this, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.